gift here, and we're bringing you a week one Teambuilder against Vernon. And yeah, this is just some HBA stuff. This is our team, and this is his team. And the first mon I noticed, and I kind of wanted to put on my team, was Charizard Mega X. And when I put in Charizard Mega X, I like this because Will-O-Wisp just really dealt with most of his mons. Like Mega Glade doesn't like a Willow. Swadloon, obviously, I can just click Fire Punch on this. Kadabra doesn't like just staying in on this in general. Kecleon, I don't think it appreciates Will-O-Wisp. It's not terrible against Zardex, but I think we 1v1 it every time with just, recovering. Klefki, we can just beat up without Fire Punch again. Rotom, we definitely 1v1. We definitely 1v1 Rotom. So I'm not really afraid of that. Goodra, we do have, we have Dragon Stab. We can Roost Will-O-Wisp. Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen actually is a little bit of a threat to the Zardex with this Will-O-Wisp Roost and no Dragon hits on it. Hawlucha does not like the Will-O-Wisp, and our set is going to be bulky enough to survive the +2 high jump kick. So it can Will right after that. Greninja doesn't completely beat, but with some chip on it, it can definitely deal with Greninja. It deals with Bulu very, very well. And Heat Train, with our set, we're not running Earthquake, so it kind of walls Heat Train. So I'm going to show you the set right now. We have 88 attack. This is just enough bulk to outspeed the, what's it called? With a +2 high jump kick. And I believe I have to check the speed for something on, I think it's Nidoqueen. But if I might have created Bulu, which I will have to change. Okay, so 276 is what Nidoqueen hits. I might have created 8 speed of that. Well, okay, so I might run 8 speed. So 276, I'm gonna run only 80 attack here. And I'm just going to creep the 8 speed Nidoqueen. Wait, no, that's max speed anyways, so there's no reason to do that. My bad. I'm exhausted there. But yeah, it creeps max speed Nidoqueen. I believe it, yeah, that's the main purpose of this, which is nice. And then the next one I liked, Lando T. I kind of had some mixed emotions about it because I felt like Magnetized Klefki could ball this, and I wasn't sure if Magnetized Klefki would come because, he has a Bulu and he wouldn't really need it, So I wasn't too afraid of that in a sense, and then I just felt like there's no good switch-ins to this. With Earthquake and Z-Fly, I pretty much can get a kill on a lot of his mons. There's no real switch-in. And then I can carry knockoff for the Rotom. And it's also a good rocker for me. So I just decided to make this... Rotom actually has the same speed as Land of T, so I crept the 8-speed Rotom. And 8-speed Rotom definitely comes because 8-speed also creeps a max speed Honchkrow at Adamant nature. So I definitely think 8-speed Rotom is the Rotom set for him to bring. So I brought a 12-speed a Land of T, just kind of defensive, max attack. I just want to, make sure this nukes anything on his team. And it's named after Techno because he's the coach of the Carolina Pantherians. Or Pantherians, I don't know. And yeah, I like the matchup Land of T has. I don't like how Bulu weakens this Earthquake, but nonetheless, it can just knock out Bulu with the Z-Fly. So if it comes to that, that's what we will do. It just puts in work in general against his team. So I kind of like that. And as far as, being defensive, it really isn't a primary switch into most of these mons, but it could be a secondary switch into some of these things like Hawlucha. I don't think I'm going to be switching into Hawlucha because I have everything either able to knock it out or phase it, and most things are able to take a hit from +2 Halucha, so that it's not really a huge threat to me, because on paper you can see Halucha absolutely annihilates my team, and yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely play around that. So my next mon obviously was gonna deal with Halucha, like I said, and this I believe is a weird. This is a weird creep. I believe this was for a 0 speed or 8 speed. This was for 8 speed Nidoqueen, which is nice to have. And then it could just the HP. I believe I just two this special attack is pretty much needed to knock out what's it called? Heat Train with Hydro Pump after Stealth Rocks, and then the rest I just put in HP, and that helps with Alucha. I didn't really need 240 HP. I just felt like there's nothing really better to place it in. I thought I could invest in special attack, but really it's a little bit excessive in a way. We'll see how that goes as an idea. But here I was thinking, since Zardax can't touch, well, Primarina is, by the way, is one of our trans switch-ins. So that's kind of nice. It can kind of semi-check Greninja, being that if there's no gunk shot set, which I don't really see coming against the team that I have right here, because Fortress, he's not really likely to bring a physical Greninja, especially with Zardax. And I think Lando T probably, advises against that. So, yeah, I think it kind of pseudo-checks that, and that's pretty nice. I can kind of pseudo-check Nidoqueen since it outspeeds it at 8 speed with let's just see if that's what it did. If I did that right. See, 188, let's go 8 speed, right? 190, okay, so I think this is 191 if I remember now. Because that's what I believe I put. Yes, I put 191, so that is what I did. And yeah, ultimately I just like that on the team. So the moves I put were Magic Coat, Hidden Power Poison, Moonblast, and Hidden Hydro Pump. Hidden Power Poison is for AV Bulu, which could come in as a check to Primarina. I don't really know if that's a great set, so I don't think that's really the set that he's going to bring. But it would be an interesting way for him to answer the Primarina, being that he really does not have a good answer outside of that. So potentially AV Bulu could come. So I did bring Hidden Power Poison for that. As we Bulu is actually slower than Nidoqueen by 1 point, so we also outspeed the Bulu, which is well, unless it runs speed investment, but then it's not really AV. Then it really shouldn't be AV running more than 8 or 12 speed. My bad. So yeah, that's, if he does bring that, it's very good prep, I think. And I just feel like Primarina hits the whole team very hard. Magic Coat was specifically for Klefki. We don't want this, Klefki just to screw with us. Might as well, make good use out of, well, not Light Screen, but we are bringing removal this week. I considered putting Defog on Lando T, and having Stealth Rocks and something else, but I decided not to. I also decided not to do a Probopass, which I was thinking of bringing because it has that magnet pull ability, and I would just, I thought that would really catch him off guard. For the Tran, for Zard to just kind of, destroy his team. And it could also, deal with that Klefki and abuse it. But then I decided, really, I can't afford to give Halucha any breathing room. It's just too much of a threat to my team, and yeah, that was just my decision. Is Probopass kind of gives too much to Halucha, and even when trapping Heat Train is either going to need to run AV or Shaka to deal with that Earth Power that Heat Train gets, and I'm not really willing to do that, to be honest. So I decided not to bring Probopass, but I was really considering it. because it was kind of nice. But it also didn't put in that much work against the rest of his team, and that was a huge part of me just deciding this isn't really worth it. So but I feel really good about these few mons. I have kind of a check to the first three. I mean, Bulu, I can't really switch into it super easily, but all three of these mons, in a way, Bulu cannot switch into any of these mons. It doesn't like being in. Two of these mons, check it. Although Land of T, it has a Z move, so that makes it kind of rough. So Bulu, I had the worst matchup out of the first three. Hawlucha absolutely loses to the first three mons, and it actually, all three can switch in because of the Grassy Seed on Primarina. Nidoqueen, it has a tough matchup against Land of T, but it can run Ice Beam, and, if it runs some good speed, we could be screwed with this, honestly. So, yeah, Nidoqueen is a big threat right now. And Goodra right now is not really a threat, I feel. Because I think it loses 1v1 to, like, all those mons. But actually, I think Primarina creeping a 8-speed Goodra might be pretty useful. Or not even 8-speed. Let's just creep regular Goodra at 0 speed, which is 196. I think that's a good idea. For Primarina is to go 197 speed. Or, let's actually go 197 works, okay? Well, okay, let's go 199. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So, Rotom is not going to do very much. It's not terrible. Klefki, yeah, I mean, Klefki's just not really an offensive mon, so it doesn't really beat the first two. Bar a Magnet Rise, it can kind of beat Lando. But it does not switch in. It doesn't switch into any of these. Kecleon is underwhelming. Kadabra can definitely deal some damage to all three of them, but is not going to 1v1 any of them, I believe. Swadloon, no, it's not getting anything done. And Mega Galele at this point is somewhat of a threat. Not gonna lie, it's somewhat of a threat right now. So I'd say Bulu, Nidoqueen, and Mega Galade. Mega Galele are the biggest threats at this point. And I opt to put Nidoqueen. I opt to put Honchko on. This is another Bulu check, and it deals with Rotom fairly well. With Pursuit and Sucker Punch. Even if a Will-O-Wisp Pursuit into Sucker Punch will knock him out, even if he's Colbert and he Will-O-Wisps, it still does that. So that's how strong Honchkrow is. Brave Bird just knocks the shit out of anything. And plus one Sucker, even though it's 70 base power, that can knock out a Mega Galele, so that sets up another 50-50. Hawlucha cannot sit up on this again. It's extremely dangerous to every mon on his team, considering his Bird Resists are Heat Train, which Superpower is going to annihilate. Rotom, which, like what I said, Pursuit and Sucker are just destructive. And then Klefki. So I just felt like this was really good work, put really good work against this team. And I opted just, this is just to make it bulkier than, because if I invested HP, it'd be less bulky. And that speed tier is, it was the same that I crept with a Primarina. Again, I think I'm going to go to 199 now. And kind of put these in between, because I don't really care. I just want, max bulk. On this thing, I don't want to get crept, so I put 8 speed on. Just, dumb creeps, or 8 speed creeps. Just kind of be a little bit bulkier. Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Pain Split, and Defog. I feel like it's a great defogger because Klefki is one of the more threatening mons on it. And it can kind of just set up, so I don't want that. And most things hate Blizzard on this team. You can look at the lower half of his first 6 mons, and they just get annihilated all by Blizzard. Bulu gets destroyed. Thunderbolt deals with the Greninja. Heatran, kind of deals okay with Rotom Frost, but it's nothing special. And then his other Blizzard resists are Mega Glide and Klefki, which are really not the best answers to a Thunderbolt. And yeah, I just kind of like this in general. Okay. Sorry, I was out for a little bit. So I was talking about Rotom Frost, and it just deals great damage to the majority of his team. So at this point, Nidoqueen is still a bit of a threat, I think, but we have a lot of offensive answers to it. If it runs a defensive set, it really just gets destroyed. If it runs an offensive set, you could be in some trouble with this team. So, but if you look at my team, I don't really see a reason for it to run an offensive set too much. It might run one, but maybe it could. So that's a threat right now. But Rotom Frost does semi-check Mega. Well, I don't even think it's pseudo-checks. I have to see his move pool again. I think this might fully check it. Okay. It seems to check it pretty well. The most powerful move it hits it with is going to be Explosion, even though it's not very effective. So that's going to be important, I'd say. Yeah, it doesn't hit it super hard at all. It doesn't really have an option to hit it with. So that's great, And yeah, it just this Rotom does a ton against the team. I really kind of hate Heatran right now in a way, but because Heatran is one of the tougher ones I think right now. It's not that bad, but it's not an easy mon for us to deal with right now. These two mons drop the Lucha, but it cannot sit up on them. So Goodra I don't really mind this with Goodra. So yeah, the biggest threat right now is the Nidoqueen. I believe Greninja is somewhat dangerous, but I don't really think it's the most of the threatening things right now. Not really. Bulu, this kind of deals with Bulu a little bit more, so that's very nice. I think Bulu doesn't really deal with any of these 5 mons particularly. But it shuts down Earthquake a little bit, so that's annoying. So I just want to 1v1 most of these mons. That's my kind of purpose of this. And I think my last mon is a decent choice. I brought a Licky Chopple Berry, and it actually is able to tank a +2 high jump kick, and it can just Dragon Tail this thing out. That's pretty useful. But one thing about this team is I feel like I need a Scarfer to deal with a non-unburdened Hoja. Because even when I phase it out with this, it's still going to be doing so much to my team. And I'm not really happy about the way that's going to work. So I don't know what to say about that. That's just a flaw with my team, I guess. I could run counter. I'm going to run a calculate for a second. Okay, so I'll be back with the one calc that I'm just about to run. Because if Licky can 2-hit KO with anything, then I am set. Rather than phasing this out, it would be a much better idea, I think, just to go for the 2-hit KO. And I'm going to assume Halucha is going to have a whole 252 HP when I do this, okay? And this is going to be important, I believe, to assume this. The thing is, if he just goes for a direct head jump kick, I'm still stopping him from setting up. So even though I'm not going to kill him, I stop him from setting up. But if he goes for the swords dance, I actually kill him, and he does not get a kill. So I'm going to see what I need to run, if I can run anything. I don't necessarily need all that special bulk. So I can invest a little bit in like special attack and see what Thunderbolt does. Okay. I found a new answer. I'm going to run 120 special attack. I'm just going to run 24 of this. And I'm going to replace Dragon Tail. And I'm just going to put on a either T-Bolt or Ice Beam or something like that. Whatever I see is the best thing when we already have Fire Blast and Earthquake. So Fire Blast and Earthquake is going to deal with, by technicality, being neutral things. The entirety of his team, actually. But, Ice Beam and T-Bolt are going to have specific things they're better against. Ice Beam is going to help me with Gudra and Nidoqueen. And I really don't like Nidoqueen, so I'm probably... Well, I remember Ice Beam is very hard for his team to deal with, and Bolt Beam was very difficult. So I'm going to go with with Ice Beam here. And when I went for Fire Blast, that was for Boo-Woo, to hit Boo-Woo and to hit the Klefki with Magnet Rise. But now that I I can already hit the Boo-Woo, I don't think Fire Blast is necessarily the best choice. And by the way, the speed is for an 8-speed Swadloon. So just so you know. So what I could do is run Protect for either high jump kicks or wishes, which is a good option, I would say. This is already a better set, though. Now, another thing is, though, I could just run Bolt Beam on this and then not be so afraid of the grassy terrain. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to run Bolt Beam. This is named after Jake Moran. He's a Beedrill and Hive now. And, yeah, I just remember he used Licky Licky really well one week. I think it was against... I forget who it was against, but he ran, like, some whack-ass moves on it. And he just knocked out Mon after Mon after Mon. And this is I'm going to just say why I put all these nicknames. Cool Me Down B, I just thought it was a good name because Rotom is like refrigerator. Murder Burb, I couldn't think of a really good name for that. So if you have any great name for like a Honchkrow, you can put down in the comments and I'll take consideration for it. Specs King, I just did that because it's a user I know And I don't really know him very well, but it's just a fitting name for a specific draft league player. I'm not going to change the genders like that all the time, because then it would just be easier to counter me. But I'm going to do it this week. Yeah, I already gave the reason for Techno. But Charizard, I just named it Recall Mega X because I've criticized it for that before. Sometimes I think it's some ways I think it's worse than Mega Gyarados, just because of all the I think Mega Gyarados is just so much better at sweeping than this. This thing's like it can break stuff easily, but Mega Gyarados it sweeps. It's different, It's so this is the idea, but I'm not super confident with how this will do against a Nidoqueen. So I'm gonna calc real fast Licky with a Nidoqueen. What it's like, the damage output. Yeah, this is I need it's actually un-EV'd, so I'm gonna put in the 248 HP and 24 SPDF. Yeah, this is a pretty nasty damage that Nidoqueen can do. It definitely is gonna 2-hit KO, which is kind of unfortunate. And what we do in return is approximately it's the same calc on both ends, and that's kind of weird. Ice Beam and Earthquake do the same thing. 44.2 to 52.3 on a 4 special defense, 0 HP Nidoqueen, which I'm not too fond of that. So Rotom Frost. Again, we're not really outspeeding this thing, and from Sludge Wave, we're going to take 78 to 92.9, which is going to kill us after rocks. Well, from like a Fire Blast or even like Flamethrower, we are dead. But we can knock that out in one hit. Well, actually, I forgot to put the HP on there. Yeah, the Sludge Wave is not going to OKO after rocks. Fire Blast is going to kill us, and Flamethrower will kill us after rocks. So, yeah, that's not the best thing in the world at all. The Honchkrow set is probably just going to get flat out fucking knocked out. We can assume this. And I'm going to put it in a calc and just see how that goes. Just 88 SPDF. It will get knocked out by an Ice Beam or Sludge Wave after rocks. So pretty much everything right now is okay by Sludge Wave after rocks. Except for Rotom isn't, but it's bad. Primarina is gonna fucking just get dropped by Sludge Wave, obviously. Lando's obviously gonna get dropped by an Ice Beam, and Zard actually outspeeds that Nido, but it just loses to it. So I'm gonna have to adjust this team a little bit now, even though I've already started the video. I think I need to adjust a little bit from especially my Rotom set. I think that's a set that I need to change. So pretty much, this HP isn't really going to help us. What we want to creep the a max speed Nidoqueen. Pretty much, I want to do that. So we're going to need to run Timid to do that, and we're going to need 176 speed. We can run 178 because it's the same thing with the 2 extras stuff. But let's put 76, just easier. And then we could put 80 HP on. And this should just perform better, I think, because it deals with the Nidoqueen. Yeah. I feel like this is a good team. Do I necessarily need Life Orb? I think I do for the Heat Train. Against a Spadef Heat Train, we're going to be doing approximately nothing. But against a, which I don't expect Spadef. So against a just max HP Heat Train, we are going to be doing nothing. 40 something percent. After Stealth Rocks, we have a 10% chance to 2-hit KO. So if we don't run Life Orb, what's going to happen differently is nothing. Really nothing. So we should opt for a better item. I'm just going to do that last second. I don't necessarily think we need to worry about Hawucha anymore. So we could opt just for an Akka Berry and actually, deal with Heat Train in a different way. Just tank more hits from it. Potentially get 3-hit KO'd, actually, if he's running like a much... Well, no, not really. But definitely love a hit from Heat Train. So that's, a nice idea. Which also kind of helps with Nidoqueen. And Goodra. So I think that's a good idea. And, he might run Hidden Power or Fire on some things for, like, Fortress. So I think that's a good change. I'm going to make this an Akka Berry set. And I feel like this is good prep for his team. Have we checked? Let's just go back and see what we've checked. Yeah, how we check Heat Train. Heat Train, Zardex loses to Heat Train. We know that. Unless he runs some set without a move to hit it. So then, Lendo T beats Heat Train every time. Primarina will beat Heat Train. And is one of our primary switch-ins to Heat Train. What's it called? Hunchcrow pretty much beats Heat Train. Oh, 1 sec. I have to put this up on a charger. Okay. So yeah, Primarina pretty much is our primary switch in to Heat Train. And Hunchcrow. What was our we have enough speed. We're gonna beat Heat Train easily, I think. Warden Frost does not really beat Heat Train, so we got two things that don't beat it, and then Lickalicky beats it. So I think we're pretty good against Heat Train. Could be shaky-ish, but and honestly, wait on the Bolt Beam thing on Lickalicky. I don't really like that. Now that I think about it, I don't feel like T-Bolt is that great against this team. So like Klefki and Heat Train and Rotom are his what's it called? Normal type switch in. So I'm just gonna run Body Slam. So yeah, Heat Train loses to 4 out of these 6. Bulu, it can't switch into any of my Pokemon, which is really nice. It really can't. Maybe it can switch into Licky, but I wouldn't want to if I were him, especially if it's weak. And can I switch into it? potentially. I can't possibly switch into it with a Zardex, Lando T, depending on the move. Some things, but not very well. But I check it with almost every mon. So yeah, I don't think I'm that threatened by Bulu. Greninja. Greninja's a scary mon. I feel like Charizard can beat it, but it probably won't in most situations. Lando's gonna lose to it. Primarina pretty much pseudo checks it. Honchkrow it should be able to beat, but Sucker's gonna do huge chip to it, so I don't know. I'll calc if I'm pretty sure Ice Beam's would kill a Honchkrow, but depending on his item, So I'm gonna just calc that for a second. Sucker does a good 45. At +1, Sucker's gonna do approximately 70, about almost. But he's probably running a speed creep. But Honchkrow was how much special defense? 88. Okay. So with 88 special defense, Torrent Greninja, him running a let's go Life Orb maybe. Life Orb has a chance to KO. It potentially could not KO. And if he's running like Expert Build, he probably won't KO. But if his after rocks, he will KO. So it's not bad against Greninja actually. Just could get cleaned up. Rotom, well, by that logic, would beat Greninja. And Lickilicky probably would beat Greninja. So Greninja's not too bad. It's not the worst. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Hawlucha, well, by team preview, you would think Hawlucha would be the scariest mon. It doesn't really beat these mons, the first 3 mons at all, especially 1v1. Even at +2, it loses to the Primarina and the Glando. So that's alright. And the Honchkrow in the Rotom, I'm assuming it kind of just beats. But you can't set up on these 2 mons, which is, it's good. And then Lickilicky actually can potentially beat it if it tries to set up. If it doesn't try to set up, it gets that chip off, and Hawlucha just stays the way it is. So it's not really that threatening. So yeah, ultimately, I think this team is just so not passive that it deals with those 4 mons pretty well. Nidoqueen is the most threatening mon on the team. I still think so. Lickilicky can't really beat it. You can do okay damage to it. Yeah. If it's defensive, it's not really a threat at all, because I can just annihilate it with the first, with the last 5 mons on my team or something. But if it's offensive, well, Lando's going to drop. Zard's going to drop, but it's going to get some damage off. Primarina, drop. Honchkrow probably gets a lot of damage off and drops. So yeah, that's really bad. Rotom kind of deals with it. And Lickilicky can get some good damage off. But honestly, that's kind of terrifying against me still. I'm still really kind of nervous about that. That's brutal. Shit. Honestly, since Hawlucha can't set up, I'm not so worried. I think I have to run a Grassy Seed. I think I'm going to go with the Kiwi Berry. It's still going to deal with Lucha pretty well. And I just think it's going to be more efficient against both Greninja and Nidoqueen. So that's, I think, a good bring. So, yeah. Furthermore, let's say that now we got Primarina to beat it. Got Honchkrow, Charizard, Lickilicky to chip it, and Rotom beats it as well. So only Lando really can't beat an offensive Nidoqueen at all. So yeah, it's a lot better now. And Goodra really does nothing. Pretty much, Goodra's just kind of dead weight, I would say. But this, we gotta outspeed Goodra on this. Duh. My stupid or something here? So yeah. So yeah, Goodra, I'm not too worried about Goodra anymore. Goodra is kind of just there. Like, what's Goodra gonna do? What is it gonna do? It's not really gonna do anything to this team. Primarina is gonna beat it. Zard's gonna beat it. This is gonna beat anything pretty much. Hunchker's gonna beat it. Hunchker's gonna take big chip though. Rotom's gonna beat it, and Lickilicky. I mean, it can kind of do things versus Lickilicky, but I mean, I think ultimately Lickilicky even gets the edge of that, with just body slams and just heal up. Unless it's like Dragon Tail, but if it's Dragon Tail, who cares? Rotom is nothing to Zard, and that is just a free switch every time. Rotom is crept by Lando, and Lando can just knock it off. Rotom loses Dual Lucha. Loses to Honchkrow. Jesus Christ. Primarina, it beats Primarina, I would think. I mean, I don't think it would knock it out either, and I think it could actually get knocked out by Primarina. So, Rotom Frost, I think, is pretty good against Rotom. And Lickilicky, it's kind of a stalemate. I am kind of toxic weak, so, but I mean, his team is not at all bulky, so I'm not really afraid of Toxic Stall in this matchup. Klefki, that mon right there. Well, the first two beat it. Primarina beats it. You get the fog on the Rotom, so it's not really a threat. The fog kind of shuts down, I think, Klefki. We got Honchkrow, which honestly, Klefki kind of beats Honchkrow, but whatever. And then Lickilicky, which pretty much just beats Klefki. So I'm not really afraid of Klefki at all. But it's probably one of the more threatening ones on this team with Nidoqueen, but I'm not super afraid of that. Kecleon. Okay, Kecleon's underwhelming to me. I'm probably underrating it to an extent, but I pretty much think all of these mons are just kind of overpower Kecleon, except for maybe Rotom Frost. And Rotom Frost, I can just switch out and I can deal with it with like Zard. So I'm not afraid of Kecleon really. I guess it's a good rocker, and rocks are good against most of my team, but I do have a Defogger, and I consider Defog on this, but yeah, I already said that. Kadabra was just, especially the Honchkrow, but Pursuit and Sucker and everything. But Kadabra doesn't really beat or overpower any of these mons as well, in my opinion. It can kind of, just deal damage and die, or clean up maybe, but I don't see it as that big of a threat at all. So, yeah. The one mon I don't want to see is really, I really don't want to see the Klefki, honestly, or the mons I at least want to see in order. Well, okay, let's just talk about Swabaloon first. Swabaloon just fucking dies. Anything really. Swabaloon's just weak. So, and Mega Golele is pretty decent against my team. I think that's one of the better mons against my team. But Rotom Frost just deals with it. So I'm not really too afraid of that, because I have a really good check to it. Well, the mons I at least want to see in order. Number one is a more offensive Nidoqueen. Really, Number 2 is probably the Klefki. I just don't want to see it. My number 3 would probably be the Heat Train. I don't like that at all. I don't want rockers, even though I have Rotom Frost. Actually, Heat Train is probably... No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to say the Heat Train is my number 1. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Heat Train at all. I just... No. The reason being... Because it's going to get up rocks, and it's hard to defog those rocks because Heat Train 1v1s this Rotom. So that being said... I'm going to have 2 defoggers, I think. I am. Do I need stealth rocks? Oh boy. This is tough now. That's a big decision. Do I need knockoff either? I'm gonna opt to get rid of knockoff because Hazardax is a dedicated Rotom switch in, and I'm gonna put on defog. Okay, I think that's gonna be the best choice, and I think that is about it. And I'll be bringing you the battle shortly after, because by the time I post this team builder, the battle will be over. So, yeah, see you guys. And hopefully we have a good game.